up on Grady Newsource, the results of yesterday's elections, what Northeast Georgians voted for, and what this could mean for future elections.
I'm more looking to see if the Republicans are able to sort of hold off, massive Democratic gains in the midterm next year.
Why a new school in Oconee County is seeing more enrollment from commuters, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Office has started its Christmas toy drive. Find out why.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Isabel Farina and you're watching Grady Newsource. We begin tonight with the latest results from last night's election in Northeast Georgia. Our reporters were out in the field watching these races closely, and we'll bring you all the details. But first, here are some key results. The main issue on the ballot was the Public Service Commission. Athens-Clarke was the only county that voted for Democratic candidates Peter Hubbard and Alicia Johnson, while the surrounding counties, Oconee, Jackson, Barrow, and Madison, all voted for the Republican incumbents Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson. Several counties had special issues on their ballots. Oconee County renewed their 1% education tax, Madison County renewed their special purpose tax, and for the first time, Jackson also approved their T-Splost. One position in Jackson County was even decided by a single vote. Now, let's take a closer look at these results. Beginning with Athens-Clarke County, Grady Newsource reporter Sophia Stafford has the latest.
Both Democrat candidates for the Georgia Public Service Commission won yesterday, beating out the incumbents and flipping 2 of the 5 Republican-held seats on the commission. Voters did not seem to know much about this statewide office.
Not really. I mean, honestly, I don't know a ton about it.
Though poll manager Nancy Brim said early Tuesday morning that they were already seeing high voter turnout.
The election office was anticipating maybe less than 200 people a day during early voting, and we did 700 or 800, so it's been higher than expected.
So why did Athens-Clarke County voters show up on Election Day and overwhelmingly vote blue, especially when all surrounding counties went red? Some showed frustration over high energy prices.
Really, a lot of it is like the energy and power, because it has been getting really hard lately to be able to make sure that bill is paid, especially in my household.
Other voters, though, thought of the small race as a referendum on the Trump administration.
I'm just concerned about democracy. I really do. I think some people think some Americans are being dramatic, but I really do think this administration is really abusing its power.
While 68% of Clark County voted for Kamala Harris in the general election, around 83% voted blue in the PSC election. Of course, regardless of how they voted, Brim says she just cares that so many people showed up and that she is already looking ahead to the 2026 midterm.
We're thrilled to have people come in to vote. I mean, this is anticipation, I guess, for next year, and everybody needs to learn where the precinct is.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Sophia Stafford.
In Madison County, incumbent Public Service Commissioners Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson both got more than 60% of the vote despite losing statewide, and voters chose to renew a Splost. Elections went smoothly, but officials were concerned about a significantly lower than expected turnout numbers. Grady Newsource reporter Zach Pascuzzi has more.
Just 17% of registered voters in Madison County participated in elections for the PSC and for renewing the county's Splost, concerning officials who believed turnout would be higher.
And for us to have our Splost renewal on this ballot is very concerning when you have that low of a turnout.
Splosts are special local sales taxes that fund projects like roads, schools, and parks. Higdon says that low turnout isn't because people don't care about the issues, but because people don't know about how important local races are.
The people that may not look at what's actually on the ballot, they'll just say, well, I just heard it was a public service commissioner. What does he actually do?
Of the voters who did show up, some were concerned about rising costs of power in the state.
They have so much requirement for power that they're having to they're going to be trying to subsidize that expense somehow. And I think it's going to come from the Georgia taxpayers.
Some cared about the future of their community and what they wanted to see improve.
More funding for our roads, things that, utilities, the things to make our county, our town better, more accessible.
Everything that's in the news now, as far as people not getting benefits, people not being able to eat, kids not, being able to eat and everything.
And others said they vote every time they can, even if they don't feel like the races are the most important.
I believe it's every citizen's responsibility to vote whenever there's an opportunity.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Zach Pascuzzi.
In Jackson County, several local positions were up for grabs, in addition to one statewide special election. Grady Newsource reporter Michaela Maxwell spoke with candidates and voters who were at the polls.
Ann Stubman won the position of council member for District 2 and is a lifelong resident of Jackson County. She wants to make positive change in the same community she grew up in.
Here all my life, servanthood, volunteering, worked in the community, and I just recently retired, and I want to still be a part of this community to give back to everybody so that we will have a good quality of life for all the residents here.
On Election Day, Stubman urged the community to use their voice.
They have to cast their votes, and they have to vote for the candidate that they feel is best for the position that they're running for. So it's very important for all people to vote no matter what, because if you don't vote, you don't have a voice.
Her opponent, Blake Ledbetter, came short, but also stressed the importance of voting.
You got to do your homework. You have to read the newspaper, the local community Facebook pages, talk to your district reps, your city council, your mayor, but you got to put the work in.
While candidates encourage voters to do their own research, some voters felt the government could do more.
Maybe they could send out a postcard or something with the issues or the topics, because I had no idea. I mean, I've got flyers from some of the candidates, but if the government would inform us, that would be nice.
Kirby also feels it should be clearer where voters are expected to cast their ballots.
Well, they could remind you of where you're supposed to vote, because I've voted here in the past, but the last 2 times I voted for like the president and the senators and stuff, that was over in Jefferson. So they switch back and forth.
Jackson County Elections Director Jennifer Logan referred to this year's turnout as wonderful, with way more people than she expected. The county recorded a little over 10,000 votes.
Michaela joins us now in the studio to share a little bit more about what she saw at the polls. Welcome, Michaela.
Thank you, Isabel.
So you had the opportunity to talk to multiple candidates yesterday while at the polls, including Dawn Maddox, who won the Jefferson mayor race by just 1 vote.
Yes, Maddox shared with me that she had gotten the opportunity to speak with a few voters right before they went in to cast their ballots. She said one man specifically told her that she had his vote after she answered a few of his questions while standing in the parking lot.
Did she tell you about what her goals were if she was to get elected?
When I asked her what issues would be top of mind if she was elected mayor, she emphasized the importance of Jefferson getting caught up to date on infrastructure. Here's a clip from our conversation.
Infrastructure, Jefferson's infrastructure. We are behind the 8 ball on that and working to make sure that we have the infrastructure in place for the growth that is coming our way. That's definitely something. And oversight, making sure we have proper the oversight for people for those big projects that we have going on in Jefferson.
Thank you, Michaela. That is definitely a reminder that every vote counts. Yesterday, I was in Oconee County to observe the election there. I visited polling locations to hear firsthand from voters how their election day was going and to see what brought them out to the polls. Here is everything that I saw. Off-year elections usually result in lower voter turnout, but not at the Oconee County Civic Center. This polling location brought out lines of longtime Georgia residents.
My whole life, minus about 20 years.
Since 1999.
My whole life, 25 years.
38 years.
On the ballot were the Public Service Commission candidates and the renewal of the 1% educational sales tax.
The Public Service Commission vote.
Voting for Energy Commissioner.
Incumbent Public Service Commission candidates Tim Eccles and Fitz Johnson won the vote.
Tax proposal that they had.
The education one?
Education one. And I really cared for it.
The education sales tax passed with a vote of 5,291 to 2,841. Many voters agreed on the importance of voting.
I vote because it is important that you express your opinion and express your voice in every election. So
Voting is important because if we want to live in a democracy, everybody has to take part in it for it to matter.
I think it's one of the only ways that we have any kind of say-so in our government and what happens to our country, for our kids, for even our grandparents who maybe can't get out to vote anymore. So it's just how we have a say in our country.
This election brought out 25.7% of active voters. This is up from the 2023 City of Watkinsville election, which had a total turnout of 19.63%. So, what do the elections mean for next year's midterms? The answer coming up after the break.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Georgia is not the only state with Democratic wins. New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and California all followed suit. New York City elected Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani as mayor over former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. In New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill defeated Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli, and in Virginia, Abigail Spanberger becomes the state's first female governor. California's Democratic win does not concern candidates, but rather congressional lines. Voters approved new district boundaries that give Democrats an advantage. Returning to our top story, Georgia's state and local elections, Grady Newsource reporter Joshua Malik spoke with Trey Hood, a political science professor at UGA, about what last night's results could mean for the election and the midterm elections.
Was there anything about the election results that surprised you?
Yeah, the margin of victory for the Democratic candidates surprised me. I mean, it was almost 2/3 Democratic, a third Republican. So, yeah, that surprised me a little bit.
You told me that you predicted that the Democrats would be able to kind of take it or potentially take it, because there was more to vote on with the municipals, so they were already there voting, so it'd be more likely for them to vote. Do you believe that that was sort of the cause for the outcome?
I think that was part of it. I think maybe one of the things I didn't anticipate as much was there seems to have been a backlash against the Public Service Commission. People, were angry about their power bills. So, I mean, that's like buying a gallon of gas. You get your power bill in the mail, you see it, it's a 1-to-1. So,
do you believe that the Democratic Party is sort of splintered right now in general, as we saw a lot of states kind of come away with more centrist-leaning Democrats to lead them, while New York, for instance, had the progressive win with Mamdani over a more centrist Cuomo?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. I think we need more data. And there really weren't that many elections last night, so. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the Democratic Party can get unified behind one message or not before the midterms coming up. So,
do you think that because the Democrats did have a couple of flips, and yes, there weren't as many elections, but we did see a lot of blue yesterday, do you believe that that could cause a sort of red wave to kind of come back for the midterms?
Well, typically in a midterm election, the party of the president is the party that loses out. So I'm not looking necessarily for a red wave. I'm more looking to see if the Republicans are able to sort of hold off, massive Democratic gains in the midterm next year. So.
And yeah, overall, do you have any predictions for what the midterms might hold for either party?
Well, I've learned not to really make predictions. So, but again, I mean. It's not going to be surprising, at least looking at history, for the Democrats to gain seats in both the House and the Senate.
Do you believe that the blue wave from yesterday was indicative of a pushback for the Trump administration?
Definitely so. I mean, Trump's not on the ballot, but again, you could vote for Democratic candidates in various places.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
The Athens Community Council of Aging is getting ready to host its next annual Turkey Palooza event. But this year, things are different due to higher need for food assistance.
As the cost of living continues to rise and federal programs like SNAP face delays during the government shutdown, more people are turning to community support for help, especially around the holidays.
We bring them the turkey, bring them a bag of groceries, and they take them back home so that everyone has a warm meal.
Turkey Palooza is a meal service run by the Athens Community Council on Aging in partnership with the UGA Campus Kitchen. Lavery says the need this year is greater than ever due to federal funding cuts.
So, this year with not having SNAP benefits, it's really hard because seniors have to choose, do they get their medication? Do they buy food? Do they pay the utilities?
Across the country, millions of Americans are facing similar decisions. Georgia politics expert Dr. Audrey Haynes says many are feeling the effects of higher prices and fewer assistance options.
They're feeling that pinch, and for some of them, that pinch is in their stomach because they don't have access to food.
Haynes says the lack of food resources has caused discontent across the country, revealing itself in yesterday's election results, which removed many incumbents from their seats.
People aren't getting their SNAP funds, which for some people could be $60 to $70 in a given month, but it's enough money to keep them from being hungry.
The focus for the council is not just on Thanksgiving, but a year-long initiative that starts right now.
That leftover money, that we do use that for some of our year-long senior hunger initiatives.
While this piece of the puzzle is important, Haynes says the results of yesterday's elections may be an indication that voters are filling out their ballots with different issues in mind.
But the real question is, why are there so many Americans in this country who are hungry?
With Grady Newsource, I'm Laurie Ruby.
A new Oconee private school is set to open soon. Grady Newsource reporter Ethan Wilcox will tell us why many of the students may not be from Oconee.
10 years ago, this was all woods. Now it's just 2 months away from being the next school in Oconee County. The Goddard School of Athens, private preschool, is in its final stages of construction, and this spot wasn't chosen by accident.
So we are seeing people both notice our school just commuting to and from work. We're getting a lot of notice simply by our location.
The school is located just off the Oconee Connector in Watkinsville and can be seen from the highway. Goddard purposely chose this location due to its accessibility. Despite its central location in the Athens-Oconee area, up to 30% of children enrolled come from families in other counties.
What we found out, kind of as a pleasant surprise, is that we're seeing a significant amount of enrollment from Walton County, from Jackson County, from Barrow County.
Buttrey says that many of the parents who live in these counties work high-paying jobs in Oconee. The short commute makes it easy to stop by Goddard. Additionally, the high-achieving school system is encouraging families to move into the county. Buttrey says that a few decades ago, Oconee schools were not as accessible.
I was joking with you, Ethan, that we used to have to wait for the chickens to cross the road there at Butler's Crossing to turn to get into the elementary schools.
In addition to the infrastructure, some parents recognize Goddard's national brand, which encourages some families to commute to the school. However, for the most part, Goddard is a new brand to the area. And while there is still currently space for enrollment, Buttrey told me that she thinks by the summer that enrollment will probably be completely filled. Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Ethan Wilcox.
A UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff last night from the Louisville, Kentucky airport. 9 people died in the crash, and the Kentucky governor, Andy Beshear, said at a press conference last night that these numbers are likely to grow. Why is it getting darker earlier than usual? Sydney Palmer tells us more, coming up after the break.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good evening. I'm Sydney Palmer here with your weather.
It was a beautiful sunny day in Athens today with a high of 73 and lows tonight around 48. And for the rest of the week, we're going to see about the same temperature-wise with our highs in the 70s and our lows in the 40s and 50s. And moving into Friday, we've got some potential for some thunderstorms that will possibly carry over into Saturday. But once Sunday comes around, the sun should be back out. And as you can see, we're here soaking up the last bit of daylight as clocks fell back across the United States on Sunday for daylight saving time. And daylight saving time really aims to maximize the amount of sunlight hours throughout the day when people are up and working. But there's been a lot of debate surrounding this practice. And Trump has even urged Congress to pass legislation that would make daylight saving time permanent. But experts say that the true impact of daylight saving time may not warrant all the debate.
It doesn't change the weather. It doesn't really change people's behavior on the long term. There's always a few days when it takes adjustment, just like when you're flying.
However, Knox does acknowledge the difficulty of the clock changing practice.
I think probably the most amount of accidents happen during that transition period because people are not, their circadian rhythm is not matching their clock time. And so they don't get enough sleep, or they sleep at the wrong times of day, and then they can't sleep at night.
But whether you are for daylight saving time or against it, Knox says that you can expect your body to adjust to the time change in about a week or so. So for now, enjoy those early sunny mornings and dark, cozy evenings. Back to you in the studio, Izzy.
Thank you, Sydney. After the break, we have a breakdown of college football playoff poll. Don't go anywhere.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
I'm Abby Halpin with Look at Your Sports, and today we're talking all things college football playoff. Now, the first official ranking came out yesterday, and as of now, 5-seeded Georgia would host 12-seeded Memphis in a first-round playoff game right down the road at Sanford Stadium, either December 19th or 20th. But if you look at the rankings, which are separate from the seedings, you wouldn't even see Memphis in the top 15, top 20, or top 25. In fact, the committee doesn't even have them ranked at all. So I'm going to walk you through how exactly they got in, but first we're going to wipe the slate clean, talk about those top 4 teams. As of now, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama are the 4 highest ranked teams. They would earn first round byes into the Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, games like that. Now, there are 5 spots that are reserved in this bracket. Those would go to, the first 4 spots would go to your Power 4 conference champs, so your conference champs of the ACC, SEC, Big 12, and Big 10. And that last 5th guaranteed spot would go to the highest ranked group of 5 champ out of Conference USA, the Mountain West, the American Athletic Conference, the MAC, or the Sun Belt. And that is what Memphis is right now. They are the highest ranked, they would be the highest ranked group of 5 conference champ out of the American Athletic Conference, and that's why they would face the Dogs. And those last 7 seeds, besides those 5 guaranteed ones, is determined by the final ranking, which is set by the College Football Playoff Committee. And that's kind of the gist of how this whole seeding works. It's a bit confusing. Once you read over it a couple times, you'll get it just fine. Coming up after, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office is making sure that residents in Jackson County have gifts for the holidays.
I think I'll find the phone.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
touch. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
This week, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office started its Christmas toy drive. Grady Newsource reporter Derek Oliveros tells us why they started it so early.
We're getting near the holiday season, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Office is making sure that the kids of Jackson get presents this December.
Well, historically, the Sheriff's Office has done things for our community, especially as it relates to children and toys. And but we're working with other partners in the community. We're trying to consolidate our efforts so we're not having a duplication of services.
The Sheriff's Department is partnering with iServe Ministries. iServe is a nonprofit based in Jefferson that connects resources to families in need. Donation boxes can be found around Jackson County, including the Sheriff's Office lobby, the Jackson County Jail lobby, and at different iServe partners. 450 kids received gifts in last year's Christmas toy drive, according to Jeff Grant, one of the founders of iServe. The final day to donate is Friday, December 19th. Children will receive the toys on December 20th during the annual dinner and toy giveaway at the Jackson County Agricultural Facility. For Grady Newsource, I'm Derek Oliveros.
Thank you so much for following this year's election with us. I'm Isabel Farina for Grady Newsource.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
As usual, great ideas. Thank you. So welcome to our viewers. I hope you ended up being a little bit more well-informed about Northeast Georgia. We try to bring you a newscast which covers elections, which you will not see usually on your local TV stations. We have here a big applause for our intrepid anchor, Izzy. And I actually have a special Play-Doh for her because not only did she anchor today's show, but she also went yesterday covering Oconee elections. And so I really, really appreciate what you did for all your frustration and your creativity. Here you have some Play-Doh to work with. I also wanted to have another Play-Doh. I can give to every single one of you today Play-Dohs, but that'll make it less special, right? So if I give everybody, but all of you deserve it. But Abby is the other one who did double duty today, an excellent idea to do all these brackets, which I tried. She helped me try to understand them. But honestly, I had to really rely on her expertise. But thank you. She was supposed to do some writing for the Solutions Journalism show, which we will have a very, very special show for you on Monday. So she did also an interview for that show. And I am really grateful for Izzy and Abby, but also for each and every one of you. Tyler, you did a great job. Izzy, I have to apologize to you because you were right. You asked me, isn't this strange that I'm saying after the break that we're coming back, returning to our coverage. The reason I thought it was okay because I forgot that we changed the order and we had a reader on the election before, so you were right and I apologize. And this is a teachable moment. My mistake is a teachable moment. As a producer, anytime you change something, look whether you're not teasing it, right? If you've moved up a story, that happens very often. And if you move up another story in a block, you might, the way you've written the first story coming out of the break may not work with your initial idea. So I apologize, and it's a teachable moment. So learn from me. But you did a great job. It was just I think also it helps a lot when an anchor does some reporting as well, and the two of you did a great job introducing the election results, writing that umbrella lead to our election. It was just the right amount of information so that we don't overburden our viewers, and I like the graphics, worked very well. They helped our viewers visualize and understand the election a little bit better. I thought you guys did an amazing job bringing us such interesting different aspects of the election. All of you found very, very interesting takeaways, and each one of your stories brought something different and educated all of us about the most important elements and things that happened yesterday. Really proud of all of you. Mickey, that was amazing. You got lucky, but you got lucky because you worked hard yesterday to actually interview the actual winner who won with just one vote, and you got to talk to them. And that was just amazing. Really, really good Q&A. One thing, Izzy, she should have tossed back to you. I don't know if you guys, but she should have tossed back to you, but that's okay. Every vote counts. I love that. But always think of, reporter tosses back to anchor, anchor thanks. Even if it's not scripted, as I've told you guys, as an anchor, as a correspondent, I used to be my own best advocate. So I take care of myself and make sure that even if it's not scripted for me, and if I was in Izzy's shoes, I would have told my boss, this really doesn't work. Take a look why it doesn't work. And just changed it. And you should have changed it. You respect me, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so any time you change something, look and see if it still works. Yeah, all I have to say is that all your packages had amazing B-roll, amazing voters, a mix of all sorts of opinions and officials and candidates, and I really, really enjoyed every moment of our election coverage. Josh, I thought that an interview went very well. Where's Josh? He did also, yeah, he did our audio, also did a great job. Audio, and yeah, I thought that interview was very well done and edited. Did you notice how he edited it with cutaways? That's an example of how to do an interview. You're very good with editing. And also the interview, your questions were very good. You were relaxed. You were really having an educated, comfortable conversation with a professor. And that was very well done, and edited. in addition to your great questions, the way you were sitting there, we could tell you were relaxed because you knew what you were talking about. And thank you for the double duty with doing our audio. He was our audio operator as well. So you don't have to do audio, do you? Oh, I'm talking. Oh, okay. Okay, so we'll let you get back in there. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you to Laurie for coming out and helping me film and everything. I couldn't have done it without Laurie.
Thank you, Laurie. And Laurie, you pulled it off. You were very, very worried, and it still came together very well with those photos. And especially, I think, the political analyst was able to really shed a lot of light about the shutdown and the funds and what it means for ordinary people. And I thought that was a very strong piece as well. Sydney's weather was very cute, very nice. She and I had this discussion as whether we both thought it was daylight savings time, and then we learned from your expert that it's daylight saving time. So we'll have to learn how to say that correctly from now on. And Derek, your toy drive also came together very well. And yeah, Ethan also, that school, I remember it from your, so you started the semester with that school and you're ending it sort of. This is one of our last shows, just giving us an update on where it is. And even though it had one source, I thought she was very good and was able to give a lot of interesting information. And it came together very well. The B-roll was very good for construction. I told you with your first piece that I was impressed how you managed to make a construction look interesting. And so I thought you had, again, very interesting B-roll, and you made something that can be kind of boring, interesting to kind of imagine what the school would look like. And yeah, I think, yeah, very, very nice work. I will definitely be showing this election show to my future students because it was very well done. And I would like to give our producers a real quick opportunity if you want to mention something. Digital also was very important today and I thank you. I saw you were cooperating with Laura, and I hope everybody cooperated and you were able to also educate our viewers on digital and social media.
Yeah, I think we had a really good digital day. I obviously could not do it without Becca. While I was over on the editing desk, she was captioning and getting everything copy edited. So we were really working as one body today, I would say. But I think we put out a lot of great content for people that don't necessarily get election results right away in some counties, that the only ways that they do get that information when they have weekly papers is
That's
through
right.
us. And so getting them those information about the Winder City Council elections or T-Splost or Splost or those various different things, I really appreciate you guys for working with us and making sure that we got those people the information that they deserve to know because it's their elections.
Yeah. Tyler, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I'd say I feel like I got really lucky with all you guys because you all did such great work. Even with, the school and the sheriff tour drive, those originally weren't supposed to be stories, but you guys managed to turn them into packages, which I thought was, super cool. I'm really grateful for that. One of my biggest worries for this show was if it was going to be too boring with the election coverage. I wasn't sure if it was going to be repetitive kind of, but you guys managed to each find different aspects or angles to your stories, which I think really helped to make things interesting. And then obviously I want to thank Izzy. Yeah, you did a lot today, and Abby, you really stepped up, so thank you for that. Both Sydney and Abby for the weather and for the sports. I know I kind of went back and forth where I'm like, oh, we're doing 1 minute, now we're doing 2 minutes, now we're doing 1 minute. So thank you for just being patient with me and just kind of rolling with everything. So good job, everyone.
Yeah, and you did a good job too. She wrote a very good tease. She and Zach are very good at teases. They write a mean tease, show tease. I wanted, yeah. Did you want to say anything?
I like that you said a mean tease.
Yes. Yeah, and I would love for each one of you who did election coverage really quick to share one or two takeaways so that everybody else can learn from what you did today, because this is quite an extraordinary opportunity to cover an election. It's not easy. It's something very different that you guys probably were doing for the first time. So I'll start with Zach.
Just, first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone in here. I think we really put together a great show here, and obviously everyone played a part in that. In terms of election coverage, tips for like future people that do this, I think I showed up early. I was persistent in trying to talk to people. I got rejected a lot from people that didn't want to be on camera talking. So, I think I had 4 people in my package. I probably talked to 40. It was not easy to get people to, especially like after they've done voting, they just want to go home. They have stuff to do. I just need I was persuasive, I was persistent, and that was really important. And then you try to find like a story that's not just the results, right? And I kind of had one, like people told me like that the turnout was not very good. And so that story kind of just fell into my lap, but it's a way to embellish something relevant, and really focusing on the voters made that a lot of fun. Hearing all the different things that they had to say, it was kind of difficult to choose between all the thoughts that I had because there were so many good ones. And so I think that being persistent and being an effective like communicator of people, making people feel that their voices have been heard, is a great way to get a receptive audience. And so I really enjoyed it. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I got to do it. And so yeah.
Great advice. Absolutely, persistence and talking to a lot. It looks so easy to produce a minute 30, but people don't realize how much work goes into it. Yeah, some great advice. Mickey?
I would say 100% make sure you do like really good pre-reporting. I think we do that for any story we do, but this one was a little bit harder because of course I just can't turn in like, this is what happened at elections. So I had to like kind of find an angle before I even got there, which is like a little weird because there's not all the votes in yet. So actually when I got to each location, I sat in the car for like 10 minutes, just like watching what was going on, seeing how many people, what kind of people. And that helped me at like 2 of the locations specifically, see what was kind of happening. One of the locations specifically that I sat at, I watched so many people go in and then come right back out like 20 seconds later. And so of course I started wondering, why are they all leaving so quickly? And so I finally got out the car because I had sat for a while, and I asked somebody, I'm like, wait, did you get to vote? And they're like, no. They're like, double check your thing. Like, it's so confusing this year with which location we're supposed to vote at. And so that like helped open the door. That person didn't want to interview, but that helped open the door for me to know what to ask the next couple of people. So that was really nice. And then the other location, like just not being scared. Like, we're reporting, and sometimes it like feels annoying to constantly ask like, hey, can you do an interview? But like just walking up to the candidates, they were like waving their signs, they were running across the street, and at one point I was like chasing one of them, like not really, but like I was jogging behind her, and I was like, hey, hey, hey. And it felt awkward, but it's like she ended up winning by 1 vote, which is like huge that we had an even soundbite from her. So I would say just know that you're there doing the right thing and to be confident.
Great advice, great advice. Not just confident, but also curious. And yeah, that was such a great get to actually talk to the candidate who would win by 1 vote. Maybe there'll be a recount, but still, I'm thinking maybe. But that was just quite extraordinary. Izzy?
Yeah, I have also the same thing kind of as Zach. People do not want to talk to you. They're giving me daggers, like seeing me at my camera, and I'm just like standing there smiling, trying to be as approachable as possible. And I'm like, do you have a minute? No. Run away. And then they ran away. Like, literally was at one location for 2 hours. People asked me if I had a press pass, like, wouldn't talk to me. I was getting so defeated. And then you finally catch like a few people that are nice enough to take 30 seconds to talk to you. And then like once I left and got 4 sound bites, I was like so like relieved and accomplished. So I'm glad that it worked out, but I almost slacked you and was like, no one will talk to me. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get this together. And then finally it came together and it was worth it.
It somehow always works out. I don't know how, but yeah, but persistence helps, and don't take it personally. that happens to all of us. And
I think they assume you're gonna ask like, who'd you vote for and why? When I'm literally just like, why are you here? Like, why are you voting? And like, do you usually vote? And then they're like, oh, that's the question? Like, sure. So I think there's just like, there's such a stigma around it, which we all know, that people see a camera and they're just like, no. But yeah.
great job. Sophia?
I actually had, I don't know if this is helpful, but I just had a different experience where the Athens people are a lot more willing to talk. I think they're just probably more used to like student journalists with like Grady being right here. So I feel like maybe that's my tip, like report on Athens. But maybe some more practical tips. When you are a journalist, you have to be at least 25 feet from the polling location to actually ask people to interview, which is only like 10 or so steps, so it's not that far. But when you're at the polling location, the only person who's like authorized to talk is the polling manager. So the other polling workers aren't really supposed to like give comments. And the other one was that the polling places are all required to like, as soon as they like close, like, so in Athens it's at 7, as soon as they close they tally, and then they put their, post their results on the door where everyone can see them. And so, and the polling manager was like, yeah, so you could drive around to every polling location tonight and look, and that's feasible. And I was like, okay, I'm not. I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Especially if I don't have a car.
Yeah, that too.
I can try walking.
Yeah, like 5
Maybe
hours.
by next week I'll have gone by all of them.
Yes.
And Jordan had some trouble with, we weren't able to watch what you did, but you also had some adventures and you put together, I didn't get to see what you put together because we never got to see it, had some trouble downloading, but tell us about your adventure.
Yeah, I encountered a lot of the same things, like people didn't really want to talk about it, so I kind of just started asking people like, why are you here? Why are you voting? Do you know what you're voting for? And honestly, most of the people had no clue what they were voting for or like what city council members do. And so that was kind of the angle that I took. I went and like talked to some political science professors and got information on like what these positions actually do. And then for the people that I spoke with that did know, I included them in the package and just kind of like took the angle of the importance of why these things matter, and honestly how like these city elections really aren't super political, which I think a lot of people go into them with a national approach of like, you know, Republican or Democrat, but it's like over bridges and things like that that aren't super political. So I learned a lot in that way, and so mine was kind of more informative, and then also I had a couple people talking, but yeah, tech issues. So
yeah, so Lauren, do you think we could post her if she gives you a caption?
I do have it now. It's ready.
Yeah, so we can post it on digital so people get to see Barrow County is important, and we apologize to our Barrow County viewers that we were not able to inform you, but we will put this on our social media, so we hope you'll check it out. And again, we do apologize we were not able to cover the county. And now we have, did I talk to all my election reporters? Thank you guys again, all of you. Really impressive work. How about we now take a minute just to hear pitches for the farewell show, if somebody wants to pitch and vote, and we can vote. I don't know if Josh wanted to also pitch. Who else wants to anchor the farewell show? So Mickey, you want to pitch? And you're the producer, so you direct. You're the boss here.
Oh, ready? Yeah. So ready. Okay, so for my idea for our last show is that we do of like end of year, top of mind kind of thing. So there's been like a lot of stories all semester that I think we've kind of like, I don't want to say recycled, but they've popped up a couple times because they're important across our counties. Like one specifically that comes to mind is like the animal shelters. Like that has been so huge. And I'm actually in the Barrow, Oconee, and Jackson Facebook groups. And that is like huge in those 3 counties. So I feel like it doesn't have to be like Sojo, where it's like we found a direct solution for these things, but maybe just things that people should know, and then just bringing those back to top of mind. I know that Sydney did a lot on like WIC and things like that. So maybe just some important things that we don't necessarily have to like provide a solution for, but that we're just like, hey, all semester we are like, these are the most important things that we just want you guys to continue to have coverage on. And I think it'll be a really cool opportunity for us to do some kind of team coverage. Me and Catherine had an opportunity in like early October where I needed someone from a fire department, and so I talked to Jackson and Catherine's department, Barrow, and it was really cool because we got to kind of use both sides to kind of bring a story together. So I think some team coverage across counties would be pretty cool for us to do. And then I think that the E-block should be a bloopers block because we haven't done that, and it can be really short. It can be like a 2-minute E-block, but I think we should go back. I did it for my students when I was the TA for Newsource, and I'll go back and watch the shows and just clip little pieces of us messing up so that anybody else that wants to be a news source or wants to know what it takes to be a journalist know that it takes a lot, but we have fun and we get through the mistakes.
Yeah, and every farewell show always has a blooper reel, so I don't remember a single one where we didn't have a blooper reel, and it's fun. And anybody else? Candidate number 2. Guys, listen, because you have to vote, you have to be an informed voter, right? That's what all the voters told you guys, it's important.
Yeah, I'll put in also that I loved all those ideas, and I also definitely wanted to include a blooper block because I know that's always a part of a farewell show.
Absolutely.
But an idea I had for a segment possibly was going back to almost do a look into the behind the scenes of what we do in a similar way to how we are for the Sojo show, but in the way that like talking and looking back at like our past pieces that we've done and what our favorite parts have been of working with those people. Why have we enjoyed what we've done this semester? What has made it worthwhile, and what has made it make you want to continue to be a journalist, and what's adding to that over time? And so doing a segment with everyone who would like to discuss either a piece they've done or a part of the puzzle they really liked and why that is, and just showing the human side of what we do to our viewers so that it's more understandable that we're people that we want to do this because we love it and we care about our communities and we care about the people around us and why that care is put into the work that we do. So.
Izzy.
I don't have like a fully fleshed out idea, but since we are in the fall and we're lucky enough to finish right before the holidays, I think we could have some fun with that somehow and do something holiday related, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever we want to do, but something a little fun and lighthearted for the holidays could be fun. I don't know what that would look like, but we could definitely think about it if that was the direction we wanted to go in.
Are we going to vote for 2 anchors like with Sojo, or are we just going to have 1?
I would love to have as many anchors as possible. I think a lot of people love anchors.
Yeah, maybe have each one of them do their idea or something. I don't know, they're just all great ideas. How do you put them all together? And I think Josh also wants, let me ask him if Josh wants, anybody else? Okay. Josh, did you want to pitch also?
I have one suggestion or one.
Yeah, Josh also wanted to pitch. I want everybody to have a chance. Everybody has to have a chance.
What I thought would be really fun for a block is to sort of, preface with one thing that I noticed at the semester is often whenever we're in the counties, we're with the people that we've been around getting our sources from for so long. Like, I think it would be really cool to have a segment or a block where we can maybe get one more sort of sought out of like the sources that we've kind of used and how their experience working with us was, something along those lines for them to be like, yeah, the journalists were in our community. They did, do X, Y, Z, and we're thankful for that. And also, it would just be nice to see, the people that we've been hearing from all semester one more time.
Yeah, that's also a great idea. Maybe you have all 4 of them actually produce, like he could look and produce with the help of other people from the newsroom, produce that from each county with reporters from each county. Have Lauren produce her idea. Izzy does her and Mickey does her idea, and we have a show which is kind of something my students have never done. That we'll see what happens.
A, B, C, D, and then use the blueprint.
Yeah. And yeah.
I just had a thought. I absolutely do not want to anchor, so I'm not throwing my hat in that ring. But I was thinking, if you do want like a traditional one anchor, but you still want to include everyone's ideas, remember when Jordan did that Q&A at the table at the weather wall? Like that was a cute setup, and I think you could write it out like to have an anchor toss to them, and then everyone can include their ideas, but then it might be easier for you to write like a traditional show if that's what you want to do. It's just an idea, and then they can...
Totally seeking to break from tradition as much as possible.
Okay, word, yeah. Just a thought for you.
I like
Yeah.
that is breaking. Tossing to the people at the weather wall. I mean, that's
Yeah.
new, that's innovative. I like that.
Or get out of the studio and be here, or whatever you want to do.
I'd love to have somebody just as a social. I'd love to have somebody live, like from like here, like anchoring. That mic right there, and then when we pass the other one around, just you keep this one.
Yeah, when you're talking, you need a mic.
Yes, you talk with that mic, and then that one will pass around to everybody else.
Izzy's idea, actually, like I have an idea for if you're doing like a mini production, have a debate between 2 people about when the appropriate time to start playing Christmas music is, because I've gotten in debates with a lot of people about it. Because I started at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. The first song I turned on in my car was Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce
Oh no,
Springsteen.
at what? Oh no.
Yes.
That's 2 months of Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
Best Christmas
Oh
song
my.
ever. But I think like you mentioned using the weather wall and like doing different things. I think like a friendly debate about when the appropriate time to break out your Christmas music or peppermint, like
Yeah,
is,
I mean,
'cause
it's
think
not even Thanksgiving, yeah.
I've been getting into the debate with my entire family over the last couple and my friends the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, have fun, guys. Have bloopers and discussion within reason, right? Within
Yeah.
reason.
No, I'm definitely looking for a very light and very like fun show with fun stories.
It's a celebration of all your hard
It is,
work.
and that's why I really liked Lauren and Josh's ideas for having us talk about what we do behind the scenes, but also getting thoughts from people that we've talked to a lot. If there's somebody on your beat that you've talked to a lot, asking somebody that we've talked to a lot.
Pam Knox deserves.
Pam Knox, Trey, our political expert, is in like every show.
Yeah.
But getting them to like talk
Special
about like
thank you.
a special thank you to them and what they thought of working with us
Yeah.
would be super like interesting, because I'm sure they love being asked questions about the stuff that they study and research. So I definitely really like that. And I think we've got an idea here almost for every block. I really like a debate happening somewhere in the middle of the show. A funny little debate over like something like inconsequential but like funny, like that. And we put him in here. I do think that would be really fun to have like a little like maybe in like the C block or something, like that's the entire like C block. Yeah, so I mean, I think we got to vote now, right? But I really think every idea that I've heard has been good.
Yeah, we don't need to vote.
Maybe we
because-
don't need to vote if we're doing everything.
Yeah. And also, guys, on a different note, if you have a package that you are particularly proud of, send me a YouTube link with that package. I'm looking for applications for the Hearst Awards. We have, like for the whole department, we have to choose just 2 entries. and I'm looking for a good selection of entries which will be judged by many professors, will look at them. If there is a package that you are particularly proud of, very high quality work, I will submit it for you. If you send me your YouTube link, I will submit it for you for her